How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just want to come on here for a while and give him a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage from 2 nights ago, which was February 4th, 2022. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was Adam Cole versus Evil Uno. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Adam Cole went over with the boom. Well, after the match, Adam Cole got on the microphone and cut a promo talking about naming off all of his opponents that he's beaten in singles competition since he's been in AEW, and was talking about how he's held championship after championship after championship in other promotions, and talked about how his lights out match against Orange Cassidy was a fluke and that he was still undefeated because the lights out match didn't count and everything. And then Adam Cole was talking about how he had one goal. Now he has one goal in mind with AEW, and was talking about how he is now going to be a more serious and ruthless Adam Cole, and talking about how he's going to become AEW champion and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Match 2, it was Sammy Guevara versus Isaiah Cassidy for the AEW TNT title. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Sammy Guevara went over and retained the AEW TNT title with the GTH. Well, after the match, as Sammy Guevara was still in the ring getting ready to celebrate his AEW TNT title victory against Isaiah Cassidy, Matt Hardy, Mark Quinn, Andrade El Idolo, and Jose got in the ring and surrounded Sammy Guevara, and they were going to all four gang up on Sammy Guevara and beat the shit out of him. But before they got the chance to do so, Darby Allin came out to the ring, and Isaiah Cassidy was already laid out, but but Darby Allin came down to the ring, Darby Allin got in Andrade El Idolo's face. Andrade El Idolo reached out his hand to shake Darby Allin's hand, and then Andrade El Idolo signaled Darby Allin to sign the contract on Jose's iPad, but Darby Allin refused, and Darby Allin sided in with Sammy Guevara. So Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara were standing side by side, and then as the numbers game was fair, Matt Hardy and Mark Quinn got out of the ring, and Isaiah Cassidy was already rolled out of the ring, but Matt Hardy and Mark Quinn got out of the ring, and then Andrade El Idolo and Jose got out of the ring, and all of the AHFO, all of the Andrade Hardy family office left the ring and went backstage, and Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin were staring each other down, and Darby Allin tapped on Sammy Guevara's AEW TNT titles, and then Darby Allin left the ring, and Sammy Guevara was still in the ring and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Match 3, it was Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes Martinez. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Thunder Rosa went over by disqualification because Mercedes Martinez struck Thunder Rosa in the head with a lead pipe, and the referee called for a disqualification. That was a great match, by the way. And match 4, which was the main event, it was Ricky Starks versus Jay Lethal for the FTW title. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Ricky Starks went over and retained the FTW title with the Rochambeau. Well, after the match, as Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs celebrated and got out of the ring and celebrated, Dante Martin came into the ring and tended to Jay Lethal and everything. That was cool. Now, after the match between Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes Martinez was getting ready to attack Thunder Rosa again, but all the referees and the doctor and the trainer, the security and everything got in between them, and Mercedes Martinez went backstage, and the doctor was tending to Thunder Rosa and everything. That was cool. I mean, I forgot to add that. But that was cool, by the way. Okay. Now, besides the matches, Jade Cargill and Mark Sterling cut a promo. Well, Jade Cargill was talking about how us slobs, well, all the slobs tune in to see her fine ass, and then said, Mark, do your thing. Mark Sterling said, well, Mark Sterling was talking about how Jade Cargill was undefeated in her first TBS women's title defense and went to 26-0. Then talked about her second TBS women's title defense and her being 27-0, and was talking about her next opponent to step up to challenge Jade Cargill for the TBS women's title. She'll be 28-0. And then Jade Cargill was talking about how she wanted to bring on all challengers and everything, and talked about how she was going to remain undefeated and remain the TBS women's champion, and was saying because it's that bitch show and everything. That was cool. QT Marshall cut a promo talking about QT Marshall cut a promo saying that he was getting tired of hearing about Hook and everything, and QT Marshall was talking about how Hook has been unhinged since he's arrived in AEW, because he's been dropping people on their heads, been not relinquishing the red rum after his matches, and walking over people, including himself. And QT Marshall was also saying, and people were saying, send Hook. Well, Hook, next week, you will be facing one of my top trainees at the factory. And my top trainee is going to kick your ass and everything. That was cool. AEW aired a vignette of the chaos and destruction of Serena Deeb. That was cool. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Tony Schiavone interviewed Chris Statlander, and Tony Schiavone was saying to Chris Statlander, talking about the attitude of Layla Hirsch and everything, and then Chris Statlander was saying, you know, Layla Hirsch did do amateur wrestling, but this is professional, not amateur, and Layla Hirsch needs to be more professional. Well, Layla Hirsch attacked Chris Statlander from behind with a steel chair, and then Layla Hirsch put the steel chair in Chris Statlander's face and done a running knee strike to Chris Statlander and laid her out while the steel chair was in her face and everything. Layla Hirsch laid Chris Statlander out with a running knee strike with a steel chair. and walked off. And then Red Velvet came and tended to Chris Statlander and everything. That was cool. Now, what I was saying before this, AEW aired a vignette of the chaos and destruction of Serena Deeb. That was cool. Wait, yeah. AEW aired a vignette of the chaos and destruction of Serena Deeb. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed Mercedes Martinez. Tony Schiavone brought up to Mercedes Martinez about her arriving in AEW and why she's going down the path of taking out Thunder Rosa and everything. And then Mercedes Martinez was saying, Tony, I said since day one, since I arrived here in AEW, I was going to take out Thunder Rosa, and I did just that. Then, well, Britt Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter all came along, and Britt Baker was saying, Mercedes, you didn't get the job done. You softened Thunder Rosa up. I want you to get the job done. And Jamie Hayter said, what do you mean you want her to get the job done? And Britt Baker said, Jamie, you could never get the job done. So I appointed Mercedes Martinez to get the job done. Now, Mercedes, you think that Jade Cargill was the one who brought you in AEW to take out Thunder Rosa? Well, you're wrong. Because she's not smart enough for that. Mark Sterling may have signed the check, but I approved it. And then Mercedes Martinez was saying, you know what, Britt? You don't know who you're messing with, because I am Mercedes Martinez, and I will kick your ass. Then Britt Baker said, Mercedes, get the job done on Thunder Rosa. Lay her out. Well, Britt Baker was saying, now Mercedes, get the job done. And if you don't get the job done, then your time here in AEW will be shorter than your time in WWE. And then, well, Mercedes Martinez ended up getting in Britt Baker's face and was getting ready to beat the shit out of her, but Jamie Hayter stepped in between it and stepped in between Britt Baker and Mercedes Martinez, and so Jamie Hayter and Mercedes Martinez got in each other's faces, staring each other down, and then Britt Baker said, Jamie, let's go. So Jamie Hayter left, and then Mercedes Martinez was just standing there and everything. Standing there looking on and everything. That was cool. And Mark Henry interviewed Ricky Starks along with Powerhouse Hobbs and Jay Lethal. Well, Mark Henry asked Jay Lethal. Mark Henry said, Jay Lethal, tonight you're going up against Ricky Starks for the FTW title. Are you worried that that Powerhouse Hobbs is going to interfere and attack you in the match? Jay Lethal said, yes, Mark, I am afraid. But at the same time, I'm going to take Ricky Starks down a peg. Ricky Starks has an ego, and I'm going to take his ego down a peg. And tonight, I'm going to prove that by kicking his ass and taking the FTW title. Ricky Starks said, Jay Lethal, I respect everything you've done for the wrestling business. But tonight, I'm going to prove to you why I am the FTW champion. And I'm going to kick your ass and I'm going to thrive, and I'm going to keep thriving as the FTW champion. And Jay Lethal was saying, Ricky, tonight, when I beat your ass and I take the FTW title from you, what's Taz going to think of you then? And then Jay Lethal and Ricky Starks continued to bicker and argue and everything, and then Mark Henry said, Mark Henry said his signature line, well, there's been enough talk. It's now time for the main event. And everything. That was cool. Now, besides all that, Taz, Excalibur, and Chris Jericho done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. The referees for the event were Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Rick Knox refereed the match between Adam Cole versus Evil Uno. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Sammy Guevara versus Isaiah Cassidy for the AEW TNT title. Paul Turner refereed the match between Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes Martinez. And Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Ricky Starks versus Jay Lethal for the FTW title. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now, besides all that, the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite this Wednesday, it's going to be Hangman Page versus Lance Archer in a Texas death match for the AEW title. That's the match that's been announced so far. Now, besides the matches that have been announced so far, the Inner Circle, which are Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, Santana, and Ortiz, will be having a town meeting. MJF will be appearing live, and Tony Khan will be making a big announcement. Well, the big announcement has been revealed on social media that Tony Khan is bringing in a new signee for AEW, and a Face of the Revolution qualifying match will take place on AEW Dynamite, and it will be Isaiah Cassidy versus the new AEW signee. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite Wednesday night, it's going to be Hangman Page versus Lance Archer in a Texas death match for the AEW title, and Isaiah Cassidy versus the new AEW signee in a Face of the Revolution qualifying match. So those are the matches. Now, besides the matches, the Inner Circle, which are Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, Santana, and Ortiz, will be having a town meeting, and MJF will be appearing live. Now, so the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite Wednesday night looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage that's been announced for this Friday night. So far it's been announced it's going to be the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, versus the Gun Club, which are Austin and Colton Gunn, for the AEW Tag Team titles, and Hook versus Blake Lee. Those are the matches that have been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage so far. So the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage Friday night looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. Looking forward to it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage from 2 nights ago, which was February 4th, 2022. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.